welcome to another episode of Exploring the Arts with me, Kalinmonet, where I share all my experiences and pretty much another opinion about being an artist and a creative in the field and all of the background aspect to it all. So today we're going to be talking about e-commerce sites such as like Etsy or Fine Art America, Society 6, all of those versus having your own website. So I personally have tried it all since the very beginning of everything. I started with Society 6 and then I went into getting an Etsy account. I tried Fine Art America as well, and I even have a Printful account as of right now for my prints for my t-shirts and things like that, and most likely I'll be doing a couple more things with Printful as well. But at the end of the day, I decided to go with having my very own website. So I'm just going to be talking to you all about some of the ups and downs of both of them, and just because as of right now, maybe you won't want to get a website, or maybe right now it's not the right time to have a website. So you might want to go with one of the other e-commerce websites in the meantime until the time comes, or either maybe your products that you make or the artwork that you make works best on an e-commerce site versus having your own website at the time. So for the two different types of categories, your website versus having an e-commerce site, I'm going to be talking about the differences with your audiences, setting up the sites, also data analysis is a very important one as well, customer interaction, and what might be the determining factor for many of all is the payment wise. So those are the 5 different things I'm going to be comparing between having a e-commerce site such as Etsy or another type, or either building your own website. The best part about setting up a website with Etsy or Fine Art America, Society 6, or any of those kinds of sites is that your audience is already there. They already exist. It's just a matter of getting the exposure that you need in order for the audience to come to your page organically, or even through paid ads. The downside about building your own website is that if you build it, they will not come. You do have to put in a little bit of work behind all of that, such as work through your social media platform, getting people to come to your website, or either getting publications through magazines, or attending art fairs or art shows and things of that sort in order for people to go to your website. So one big thing is that with a website, you have to network, you have to communicate, you do have to put in a little bit more effort. Meanwhile, working with another website or putting yourself underneath another website, the audiences already exist. They already exist. And not to mention, there's also the trust factor that you have to build with your audience. So yes, you do have to build some trust factor with the audience when you're on another company's platform. However, that platform has already built a trust relationship with customers that are there, versus your own website, you have to build that over a period of time. So it does take a little bit of time to start making sales, or either to get interactions on your website or page visits and views and things like that. But trust me, it will happen, and especially if you put in the back end work for it. So with setting up your account with another platform, for example, with Etsy, they go ahead and they give you all the details about what you need. Here's the layout and things like that. The only thing is that you're very limited to what their platform offers you. With your own website, you could go crazy with it. You can do whatever you want, and I mean literally whatever you want, depending on which website you go with. So I personally use Wix, but I know there's also Shopify, and I know there's also, I believe one is called WordPress. Don't quote me on that. And so those allow you to just go crazy with your website. You can put anything you want there. You can put any kind of merchandise, and you have total control over it. With being put onto another person's platforms, you have to play by their rules. That's the only thing. Another factor to all of this is customer interaction, which I personally think is a very important thing when you are a business, whether you're an artist or a crafter or whatever the case may be. You have interactions with people in person, at art fairs or art shows and things like that, and with those interactions, you build a connection. So same thing goes online. It's a little bit of a different language here though. So let's say you are on another company's platform, such as Etsy, whatever. You can send out stuff to your customers, but they might not be interested in it, to be honest with you, because they signed up for Etsy. They did not sign up for your Etsy shop specifically. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. However, if someone has visited your website and has signed up to your emailing list, or has given you their phone number or their email address or whatever the case may be, then they want to hear from you specifically. So you do have a little bit more control over how you interact with your customers and your clients. And also too, having your own website means that you also are building your own emailing list. However, if you're on Etsy or another company's platform, they are the ones that have these people's emails. So let's say something was to happen to your Etsy account, and God forbid it does not happen, but it gets deleted, or you get locked out of it. You have no way to get that information back. You have no way to contact those customers. You have no way to continue building that relationship with them. But however, with your own website, you do have that control. And I feel like that is probably why I personally love having websites, because I'm able to sit there and say, oh, okay, like these are my customers, these are people who are interacting with me, these are people who are interested in stuff that I have to offer, or either the stuff that I have to say. And I can interact with them, I could build a connection with them, and I could continue to grow with them over a period of time and have no worries, no limitations whatsoever. As I repeated in many of my other videos as well, I hate to say this, but at the end of the day, we are a business and we have to learn about the data analysis of who is interacting with us and why. Because it doesn't make sense to put up something that doesn't interest others. If you are a crafter, if you're an artist, I kind of feel like, whatever's whatever. You make the art, people like it, people don't like it, it's personal opinion. But with data analysis on a third party's platform means that you're only limited to what they offer you to see. So you might not know exactly where people are coming from on certain platforms. You might not know the demographics of the people who are coming into your page. With your own website, honestly, you do have a lot more options available to you to understand where people are coming from, how are they reaching your website, what pages they're looking at, and kind of put that puzzle together and figure out what's going on. And also, this data analysis is not just to make sales, it's also so you can understand if your website is working properly, what people have an interest in, and also to give everyone what they want, so that you can make everyone happy in addition to yourself as well, because more exposure, more happy you'll be. And with a third-party platform, unfortunately, you only can see what they offer you, and each one is very different. They might actually tell you where people are seeing you from, but they might not tell you the number. They might tell you that Joe Smo saw your stuff, but you're not able to see who Joe Smo is, so it's only limited to what they offer you. And that might be okay, especially as a beginner with reading and understanding what is going on, because it can get a little bit complicated once you start to dive into like certain types of numbers and understanding what is what and this and that, in addition to building a website and all this other kind of stuff. So working through this on another company's platform might be very helpful for you with getting the general gist of understanding everything as a whole and as a hub. And now we're moving on to the final part and the big question, which I'm sure a lot of you all do have when it comes to the payment. So owning a website can be a little bit pricey, but I do find that it is a little bit less expensive over a long period of time. And the reason why I say this is because having your own website means that you are paying for your domain name. You are also paying for the website to be run on whatever platform it is. Again, like I said, I use Wix, and it's about a little bit over $200 that you would pay, but that's yearly. And you can also do monthly as well. There are those options as well. With a e-commerce site such as Etsy or Society6 or any of those other sites, it is free to sign up. However, there's this fee, there's that fee, and then there's this and there's that, and then in addition to you with the packaging and all these other different things, to be honest with you, over a long span of time, it does add up. And my personal experience being on Etsy, unfortunately, was not the best when it came to really getting customers to come to my site, because I ended up having to spend twice as what I was making in ads in order to get people to come to my site. And not to mention each listing cost money. And then with a platform like Etsy, eventually they do say that, okay, the amount of money that you're spending in ads will decrease and the amount of people who are visiting your site organically will increase over time. So I decided to go ahead and just say, you know, I'm going to do my own website, and I'm going to invest little by little into my website over a longer period of time versus going through an e-commerce site, because I personally found that with my website, I had my customers there, the interactions, the emailing list, all this other kind of stuff that I had previously talked about in this video and more with my website versus having a third-party person do it. I do find that having a Etsy account or a Society6 account or even a Printful account or whatnot, it does allow you to, you know, sell merchandise, in some cases your own, or either in other cases prints of. However, the downside is that all those fees start to add up over a period of time, especially if you're looking for exposure in the moment, at the moment. And you can get lost in the mix of thousands of people on this website. So that's the kind of like the downside of that. I do recommend getting a e-commerce site if you are just starting out, because it does give you a little bit of a background as to how things run and how things work, and then build your website over a period of time and try to get those people to come over to your website and not just stay in the e-commerce. So that is my opinion about having a Etsy account or other third-party account versus having your own website. So I mean, it does have its ups and its downs, and in the moment right now, e-commerce might be good for you, or maybe a website might be good for you. It all depends on where you are in your career as an artist or a crafter and what suits you best. Again, like I said, I personally found having a website was the best, but it might be different for you, and hopefully all this information has helped you out with figuring that out for yourself. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you found this information helpful. And please be sure to check out all the other videos where I share a lot of information about being an artist and the business side of being an artist and everything you can think of under the sun in order to help you all get the push that you need into the art world and get a head start. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye!